Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we try to seek the good. I hope all of you have had a nice day today, and if you're a bit new with us, allow me to give you a quick overview of what we are about. Basically, this is a community-based channel where we try to talk about the good things that happen in our day, both the big things and the little things, and we share it with each other to show that good things happen all around us. So if you have something good that has happened in your day, please feel free to share it down in the comments below so we can discuss it. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, then I hope you can at least take something positive away from these videos today. With all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started today. All right, so I got actually five things to really talk about today. If you count the compliment segment, if you take away the compliment segment, then it's four things. All right, the first and most important good thing that I have to share with you guys today is that I got my second COVID shot today, which means that I am on track to being pretty much defended from the current COVID strain and at least having some sort of defense against the new variants that are out there. And I am filled with a lot of hope, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that a little bit later. After that, not going to lie, we had a little bit of a hiccup with my car's battery dying, but I had a nice security officer at the hospital that was able to help me get it jump started. And it was super nice, and I really enjoyed his company, and I really appreciate his help, so I'll talk about him too. Moving on from that, we went with our original plan after my vaccine, which was to get pizza from a special place in town that my wife and I really enjoy, and we got to enjoy that. It was pulled pork pizza, or barbecue pulled pork pizza, and I really enjoyed it, and my wife really enjoyed it, and it was really good. So I'll talk about that a little bit later too. After that, we're going to acknowledge how good of a good boy Domino was today. Both just like being at home by himself for the majority of the day, and then kind of just being in the car for longer than he needed to be. So he's been really good today, and I appreciate just how good of a boy Domino is. So I'm going to talk about how great my dog is once again here in just a moment. And then finally, we'll wrap things up with a compliment segment today, which honestly, didn't really have anyone that stood out in the clinic today. That kind of happens whenever you have half a day and don't really get to interact with the patients today. I'll kind of explain why I didn't get to interact with the patients today, but I'm going to focus my compliments on my wife again because she looked pretty good today, and you guys need to know the outfit that she was wearing. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So starting with the most important good thing that's happened for me today is I got my second COVID shot today for the Moderna vaccine. And if you guys have been keeping up with the vaccines for COVID at all, the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine have both been two-dose vaccines, meaning you take one earlier, then you wait a few weeks, and then you take the second one. And that's what gets them to their like 90% plus effectiveness. And I'm pretty confident about the results. I have heard that this is going to be a bit rougher on me. The first time around, I just had a little bit of arm soreness, but I've heard a lot of talk that the second dose is a bit rougher, and I've seen the doctors around me get a bit sicker with this one, but it doesn't usually last long. And honestly, if they get sick, that's usually a good sign that their immune system is working and really responding to the vaccine. So I'm kind of hoping I'm going to get sick like that, especially during the weekend a bit, because one, I'd rather get sick like that during the weekend than the work week, and two, I'd rather like see a sign that my body is responding well to that rather than just be left guessing if I got the real effect. So fingers are crossed that that happens. And in addition to that, I will still have to like continue with my normal like COVID safety measures I do at work whenever whenever I'm working or interacting with people. The reason why is because it takes the second dose about a couple of weeks to really reach that 90% mark, so it's not like an instant thing. I'm going to have to wait until it reaches its full effectiveness, but I'm on the path to getting there, and that's what I really appreciate. And despite all the rising numbers and rising death rates, and well, I guess it's kind of on the downward trend now, which is a good thing, but still not the best thing considering where we are currently at. And despite the new variants that we are at, I'm confident that with the vaccines we currently have and the vaccines we're getting in the future, and the more that we understand this virus, we will get through this pandemic relatively okay. Um, so that's why, if you guys are even thinking about getting the vaccine, I strongly recommend that you at least try it. I promise you, I haven't heard anyone that has had like a really bad experience around me. I haven't, and better yet, I haven't heard of anyone even dying from it. And that's from searching around articles all over the internet trying to find stuff. I've heard about a few allergic reactions, but nothing too much since the first weeks it was out, and no deaths. So if you want to try it out, I highly recommend it because some protection against the virus is better than no protection at all. So this could only help you. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, that's fine. I highly recommend you at least keep trying to stay safe by wearing a mask and staying socially distant. The only way we're going to beat this pandemic is if we work together and stop fighting each other. So in the end, the only thing that mask and social distancing can do is really help you out. And the vaccine can help you out more, but I'll let you guys decide that on your own. So with all that being said, I'll step off of my pedestal and stop preaching to you guys about the importance of a vaccine, and I'll move on from there. So going back to the other good things that happened today, I kind of had the vaccine kind of followed up with a bad thing. While I was getting the vaccine, I got a notice from my wife that my car wouldn't start. And the reason why I got that notice is because her and my dog Domino kind of came with me to the hospital because I wanted their company, and they were planning on picking up pizza for me afterwards, and we could all drive home together. But for some reason, while they were in the hospital parking lot, my car wouldn't start because the battery was dead, and that was not a good thing. And I had to spend a lot of time in the hospital trying to look for someone that with jumper cables to restart my car. And it didn't help that my wife couldn't find anyone that had jumper cables herself. But we ended up finding a really nice security guard at the hospital that had jumper cables on him. He was able to take me in his car to where my car was, and we were able to get it working. Albeit it was not as easy as I thought it was going to be, and probably not as easy as he thought it was going to be. But I enjoyed his company. I hope he enjoyed my company. We didn't really get on each other's nerves, and he got my car working, so that's the best part about it. And I really appreciate that he was able to help out. So shout out to the security guard over at the hospital, and I hope he's having a good night tonight. So moving on from that good thing, we go over to what was supposed to originally happen after I got the vaccine, and that was getting some specialized pizza. We had ordered it ahead of time, and we were going to pick it up at a certain time before the car troubles. Um, Obviously, we were a bit late because my car wouldn't start. About an hour late, if I'm being honest. It was still warm whenever we got it. It still tasted great. Everything was great. We have leftovers for tomorrow sitting here next to me. So, yeah, pizza is a good thing, especially specialized pizza. It's a good way to end the day. So, that was a good thing right there, and I really appreciated it. And then finally, a good thing that I have to acknowledge is how good of a dog Domino was today. Because I stayed at the clinic a little bit later today than I normally do. I usually leave around noon, and I didn't get to leave it around until around 2:30. More on that in just a little bit. And my wife had to actually go from working here at home today to working in the office today because her work was kind of requiring it. So Domino had to be by himself in the crate for the majority of the day. And he was a good boy because normally when he's left in the crate, he, for some reason, flips his food bowl in protest, and then is just kind of left there with no food, and then realizes his mistakes soon afterwards when he does it. And he hadn't done that, so that was that was some good news. There was no accidents in the crate either. He wasn't whining when I came in. In fact, my wife had left some videos on for him to keep an eye on whenever he's watching, or to help pass the time for him whenever he was in the crate. And I came into him watching people die in the Jurassic World Evolution game, which don't know how YouTube directed him towards that, but he was fully engrossed when I walked through the door. and then noticed me walking in. So he was happy to know that he was getting out of the crate soon. But yeah, he was a very good boy today. He gave me no trouble once I got home. And even carrying on further past that, we brought him with us to the hospital. And he's been good in car rides before. We usually go back and forth between our apartment back to where my in laws live, and he makes the entire car drive without any problems, really. But because of the drive to the hospital and my car not starting, and then once we finally got it started, getting some pizza, and then driving all the way back, this was by far the longest he had been in a car before, and he made minimal fuss about it. He did whine a couple of times, but that was more because he saw me outside the car and I wasn't coming in, and he wanted me to come into the car. He wasn't getting aggressive with anyone that was outside the car. He wasn't barking or anything like that. He was just a good boy. And I'm sorry he had to sit in there the entire time while we tried to fix the battery. But he was a really good boy, and he deserves a shout out for how good of a dog he was today. So shout out to my dog Domino for being an extra good boy today. And with that being said, we'll move on to the compliment section. Like I said, I usually work half a day on Fridays, and I didn't really have anyone that really stuck out as far as compliments go today. I tried to look for people, but honestly, people weren't in the best mood today, and no one had anything that really just stuck out today. Plus, I usually work with people that one way or another I get to interact with in a way that allows me to find something that just really sticks out. And I was a scribe all day and didn't really get to interact with the patients at all. And I was a scribe longer than I thought it was going to be. So it was just a whole lot of sitting and waiting in the clinic past when I thought I was going to get out. So since I have nothing to really talk about clinic wise, I'm going to talk about my wife, because she went into her office today and she had a really good outfit. White turtleneck, tan belt, tan boots, a pearl necklace with tan and amber all around it, with pearl earrings, kind of a I forget what kind of green pants it was, but went really well with the outfit, and then a blazer jacket to go on it. Honestly, it looked like a an outfit that a college professor would wear, and she looked really good in it. She felt really confident in it, and I was super happy that I got to see her in it. She looked great, and she felt confident in it, and yeah, she needs to know how great that she looked. So if you're watching this later, baby, I hope you know just how great that she looked, and I'm giving you a little shout out. So shout out to my wife for looking great today at work. And with all that being said, that'll do it for all my good things that happened today. So if you had a good thing that happened to you, please feel free to share it down in the comments below. I'm sure that myself and anyone coming across these videos in the future would love to see the good things that you're willing to share, because we all need some good things happening in our lives. Also, if you enjoyed the video or the channel itself, please feel free to like and subscribe in the future so you can receive notifications and updates on future good things coming out on videos. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you have a nice day. And this has been Seek the Good. Goodbye.